going on, everybody? Welcome into What You Heard Reviews.
Yes. We are back with another fire review for that Heine. Make sure you subscribe to become part of the tribe. Do us right. Hit that like and comment because you are rocking with the content. Now, we got another one, man, and we're switching gears on this one because we got a little R&B, a little soul, a little R&B, a little different. You know what I mean? From what we've been doing recently. We got Leon Thomas, Electric Dusk.
All right, man. Let's start.
Let's dive into it.
Let's get into it, man. Is this a project? You want to start? Because I always feel like I start, and I'll give you the floor, dude. So,
is it a project? Yes and no. I don't know how both of those things can be true. With the title Electric Dusk, the feel of the album feels like Electric Dusk. So the sound, the tonalities, the production, the different effects that he does on his voice throughout every track, and everyone is different as far as like kind of how he's attacking it. Some have more reverb, some have kind of this electric kind of synth feel to it. So in that sense, yes, it is a project. The no side of it is, as far as the tracks themselves, what do they provide to the title of Electric Dusk? Is there a real through line as far as topic for this album? No, I don't feel like there really is. So it's yes and no. Sonically it is, but topic wise, I felt like it wasn't.
I agree with you, actually.
Okay.
I do. I think it is a yes and a no. I think it is because of what Electric Dusk, which you would think of, would be what this would sound like.
Right.
I have major issues with the way this sounds. But again, if you put your mind in that kind of state and you're like, okay, I get the tonality of what this project should be. And again, to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying, is it a project about what electric? I don't know. I don't think it is, in that sort of sense of like what, topically wise.
For sure.
So anyways, let's talk about flow, man.
Let's talk about the flow because that lends to
this is probably might be my biggest
why it's
problem.
A no on the project. Why there's a no there.
Yeah,
go ahead.
A big problem for me. Okay, because it starts off with slow down, and I do not believe this should be the first track on here. Slow down is kind of a middle of the road kind of track, right? And I really feel like Blue Hundreds should be pushed up to number one, right? Like give you because Blue Hundreds is a good song and it's a little bit more one of the upbeat songs, right, on the album.
Okay.
And so I have this pacing problem. Plus, there are really hard cuts in this, and it's really jarring. Really jarring.
There's some major pivots.
It is so weird, man. It is so weird.
Yeah.
When you're listening to this, you're like, what?
Whoa.
And I mean, because it literally stops in next track. There's no fade out, no fade in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which would have made it better if that were the case, and it's not the case. I think he missed a big opportunity, in my opinion, putting fade to black in the number 9 spot. Fade to black should have been the way you go out on this album to me.
I agree.
And so I have a major problem with the flow of this album.
I have a major problem with the flow. That was a great point about Blue Hundreds. I didn't even think about that. But yes, it's one of those things where if you get the track listing right, you can change the whole feel of an album. And this is kind of where I've been with this album. There's been something that I'm just like, man, it could be, but it's not because of the track listing. Like there's songs that just don't flow in like I can't even explain this. Like you have like an up tempo and then a super opposite side of the room ballad. And then you have like kind of a middle of the road, like there's no smooth ebb and flow. Look, we all like we all like the peaks and the valleys. We don't want to be hit with, up tempo through a whole project, through a whole album. But you also don't want all the way at the top of the mountain and then jumping off the mountain and landing straight at the bottom, right? So it's like, that's how it feels with this album. It's like you're up and then you're way down.
It's so jarring, dude. Okay, we took production out of it, but I got to throw production in here real quick before we get into standouts. Production really bothers me in this project.
Okay.
Now, I know that this was probably done purposely, going back to what we were talking about, the project being Electric Dusk, right? Okay. Right. But there's a thing where there is too much reverb on a lot of these tracks.
There's a lot of reverb.
And this guy can sing, man.
For real.
He can sing. And it's just masked by this too much reverb. And it's too tinny sounding. He's pushing the back in some of them. There are a couple tracks on here where the reverb is done correctly. And I'll talk about that when we get to the standouts. But for the most part, man, I do not like the way this production is set up for the most part, because he's got such a cool voice.
He does.
And I'm like, dude, you're getting, it's almost like, auto-tune, right? And you're like, bro, you can sing.
Yeah.
Don't put I get like if you're doing like a hook or something like that.
Yeah.
No, dude, it's throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, Slow Down, right? When it starts out and you hear the reverb, you're like, okay, whatever, okay. And then he goes into the rapping part of it, and it's the same reverb sound. It is so annoying to me, dude.
Yeah.
I cannot. It is. Talk about jarring. That's jarring in itself. So, again, we took production out of it. I don't know if you want to add anything or not. That's fine if you don't. But it just really bothers me, the production of this. It's not very pleasant to the ears all the time.
Okay.
As a whole project.
Let's get into these standouts, man.
Standouts. Go ahead, man.
First and foremost, I want to go with Crash and Burn, track number 8 on this project. The beat is crazy on this. The message behind it is really dope. And again, like going back to the flow, there is a little bit of a message through like a portion of this album, and Crash and Burn is kind of like a pivotal point in that small message inside of the project, but it doesn't hit all the way through. But Crash and Burn is one of those ones. The sound is super dope. I love the hook. My next one would have to be Sneak, track number 5. I just love, talk about what, like him actually showing his like vocal ability is really dope on Sneak. And it's a fun track. He's talking about basically, sliding. You know what I mean? Y'all know what sliding is, And then I would have to, even though I agree with you somewhat on Slow Down, I do like Slow Down. Like I like the song for the most part. So those would be my 3: Crash and Burn, Slow Down, and Sneak.
Cool. I have Blue Hundreds in here, man. I think Blue Hundreds is a great up-tempo song.
It is dope.
I really do like it. And then I want to talk about Breaking Points. I think Breaking Points, and especially with, what's her name? Victoria
Monet.
Yeah, Victoria Monet doing, because he has it twice in here. He has it by himself, and then he has it at the end as like a remix version of it.
Right.
And bro, like, listen to this song. Will tell you how well he can sing in this particular song.
I agree.
Either one, the remix version or the regular version, doesn't matter. Beautiful ballad song.
Yes.
It's amazing. And you're like, bro, why did you do more of this?
Right.
Like, this is killer.
Yeah,
it's
it is dope.
So good.
It is dope.
And honestly, that are my only 2 standouts of this album.
Okay.
Everything else kind of bugs me in this album.
Okay.
There are, but I want to be careful, because in the sense of, I think people should listen to this, because this is a my ear type of thing. And I know we're doing reviews, right? But it is my opinion in the sense that there's just too much reverb on all this. It's really hard to get into.
Gotcha.
All these, but there are bits and pieces where you're like, that's dope. But the whole song in the whole is just not really,
right.
You're like, too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
anyways.
Replayability. It is.
This is super low for me, man.
Yeah.
Super low. Like, I'm not sure, to be straight up with you, if
you're
I'm
going
going to
back.
go back to this album. Or
That's
not,
fair.
Dude.
That's fair. I'm not sure either.
And I'm mad about it. And again, I'm going to keep bringing it up because I know he can sing, right?
Yeah.
But it's just not appealing to me to listen to this project.
I as a album, as a project, as a whole, no. There are some songs I do like, though. There are some songs I do rock with, and I would definitely playlist them. But as a whole, yeah, it's not really there.
Yeah. And then is it a vibrant thing, man? Is it a vibe?
Yeah.
And again, this kind of falls in line to me with the replayability. It's super low. I can't vibe with this project. And again, a lot of my critique goes to the production value. To my ear, just is not very pleasant. So it's not very vibey to me. It could have been.
Yeah. There's so much potential with the album, and I think that's what's so.
It's tough.
It's been so frustrating because it's like
It's tough.
there's super dope moments throughout the album that you can point to, and there's misses. There's and look, these are artists, and everybody's trying different things, and everybody's trying. They're swinging for the fences, and sometimes you miss. And that's just to us. That's to me. That's to Zeke. You guys might have a different opinion. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But let's drop these scores.
Man. You want to go first?
Yeah. I have this album. You see my face twitching like I got a sneeze or something. I have this album at a 6.5. Yeah, that's it. You guys heard everything else I had to say.
Right. I have it lower. I have it at a 5. And again, you heard everything I had to say. Again, it's not really replayable. It doesn't really have a vibe to it. It does, but it's not there. And then the production value for me really knocks it down the notches for me, because it's like if that was tweaked, I think this album would be 9. It would be
the potential of this album
the potential
crazy.
is crazy. Let us know what you guys think down below. Please comment.
Yeah.
Please let us know. I really want to know what people think of this
Yeah,
album.
go-
In particular, I
go check
really
it
want
out.
to know
For
what
sure.
this album, what you guys think.
Yeah.
So, you guys stay safe. You guys stay positive out there.
And as always, it's all about what you heard. Peace.